where you don't need to have a hero who looks like a hero. You don't need to have a lead actress who looks like a sex bomb. You don't need any of that. You just need normal people and good actors and good stories.
If you see how many older women are really paired with younger men, if you pair an older woman with a younger man, you'll call her a cougar. And so easily to label a woman and say, oh, for a cougar, you know, she's caught hold of like this young boy. But in a Hindi film, it's so normalized. Like we're so conditioned to see a 60-year-old Uncle Ji pair with like a 20-year-old girl.
Nowadays, being an agent is not only being an agent, but being just a good human being and being there for the person you care about. So, you know, it's a lot of these things which culminate into making a good agent.
Hello everyone, welcome to peoplemoon.com. I'm Rashika Sahni, and today joining me for a super interesting conversation are the top agents of Bollywood. Welcoming Ayush Mehra, Ahana Kumra and Soni Razdan for their upcoming show, Call My Agent. Hello you guys, how have you been?
Hi.
Yeah, good. Thank you so much. How have you been?
Great. Even better after watching the trailer of your show because it looks so exciting, I must tell you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. So firstly, tell me, like I mentioned, you know, people in India, everyone around me also is obsessed with Bollywood. Everyone wants to know what goes on behind the scenes. And your show is exactly all about that. Do you think that will sort of, you know, favor for the show's viewership as well? Because I remember when Bollywood Wives came on Netflix last year, it just blew up because everyone wants to know what goes on in Bollywood. So, yeah.
We are all such huge Bollywood fans. Like we all have literally seen it since such a long time, been in it since such a while that it's and in India it's really a big it's a very big culture. So you know we can't negate that. And as an audience, I also sometimes want to know, oh, for a particular film, oh, how do they make that film? Oh, what are the behind the scene? Even though I'm in it, so it's very intriguing for me as well to be a part of it and still be mesmerized by it. So I can only imagine what a person who's not totally related to it would feel like. So I feel that this is going to be a win-win. I hope it is a win-win.
I'm sure it will be. Soni ma'am?
I mean, you know, apart from the fact that it's Bollywood, it's just a really entertaining show. I mean, because it's Bollywood, there's lots of drama. Because it's between actors and management and the day-to-day, shenanigans which go around, making movies. There's always going to be a high drama. Plus, it's funny. So I think apart from the fact that it's Bollywood, which is always, I mean, is entertaining by itself. You have this extra dimension in this show, which is the fact that it's behind the scenes, and I think that's obviously one of the USPs of the show. So I feel it's just I mean I'm looking forward to people. They'll think about Bollywood for 5 minutes. After that, they're going to get involved in the characters. They're going to get involved in the storylines. They're going to get involved in the lives of the people, and what's going on in the drama and the fun. So that's where it's going to, I think, all just be carried, through that.
Okay. Ahana?
Honestly, when I watched the original, I thought like I'll watch it for the stars. But when I started watching the show, I was actually interested in the lives of the agents. I completely forgot about that these are stars or whatever. I was just like, okay, these are normal people and they have normal problems, and there are like day-to-day problems like bachche ki problem, aging ki problem, ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend ki problem. So it literally became like, oh, these are like normal stories, phobias, fears, things like that you can play upon. And I think like that was exciting. And I think like BTS of anything is exciting. Like if you watch any show right now, I think all shows are so different from one to another. Like, for example, even like with Scam, everybody was interested in stock markets. Like even in Mumbai Diaries, when everybody watched, everybody was like, oh, so this happened in like the hospital. I'm saying कि हर एक show का जो अब एक structure हो गया है, it's all become like कि तो अच्छा इस ये जो पूरी हम लोग जिंदगी जी रहे हैं या what we have seen from far, or oh, this is also what happens, you know, like you don't know what's going to happen, and that's the reason why a show becomes a success or a character becomes exciting. And I think here, because these four people are so different from one another, it will become so exciting to watch their chemistries. It will be like four worlds colliding, because you'll be like, you'll see a Teresa who's like, you know, very calm, she knows what she wants, Meher who's like this person who's like the sounding board for everybody, you know, Monty who's very you know, he's a shark, like
lethal.
Yeah, he's really like, you know, he'll show like he's a calm demeanor, but he's like out there to get you. And Amal, who's like this firebrand, who's just like screaming and shouting and making sure like everybody's like listening to her. So I think like it's, and apart from that, they're assistants who are also adding like all the drama in the office. And think about it, hum log ki locations kya thi yaar? Maximum we've shot inside that little office that is like a red color office, because it is the theme of our show, you know. So everything has been like, it's been so like drama, and I think the color red and black is the theme of the show, because that's where, you know, that's where what we associate cinema with. When you see somebody on red carpet, why do you call it a red carpet? Why does everybody wear a black gown, you know, on a red carpet? It's just like, and all of us, like even in the theme song, if you see, all of us are wearing like these black outfits, you know. So I just think the show is it's going to catch such a huge attention, and it's not going to only be because of the stars. It's going to be because you'll be in it for the stars, but the minute you start watching it, you'll be like, oh my God, is this what the agents go through? Is this what happens when people have to get a film? You know, so it's one of those.
Agreed, completely. Even the cinema halls are black and red.
Yeah, true.
Yes, sub.
That.
Yeah. Okay. And when the show was offered to you, did you guys like, had you guys already watched the original, or did you not watch it at all?
When I had auditioned for this, I hadn't watched this. They told me to watch it, but like a smarty, I thought, no, let me just, you know, create my own character and not watch it, because otherwise I'll try to copy that. And yeah, so then I gave the audition, and then it was like 4-5 days, and then I didn't hear back from it. And I was like, maybe I must have not got it. And then I was like, okay, he had told me to watch it. So then I just switched it on, and I, in a go, saw 6 episodes and was praying so badly, okay, please, I get a call back for this one.
Please call my agent.
Yes, please call my agent. Please call my agent. And luckily, it did happen, and I was really, really happy about it. And in my head, when I was watching the show, also, Uday Gabriel is a little aged. So in my head, I'd made perceptions and results that obviously they're going to take an older person. They're not going to take you. Why will they take you? You're so young as compared to. But in the Indian version, they made a younger Gabriel. So it was like a treat, and I was lucky enough to get it. Yes.
All of us are playing our age, but he's playing like a young guy.
Yeah,
I'm playing young and rich. So it just became like.
The dating lines are not open here. Sorry.
Okay. Soni ma'am, what about you?
No, I mean, for me, I had watched a bit of it. It was like one of those shows which I was like just about getting into, because it was pandemic and we were all looking at new shows. And this is the first time actually I watched a French series. So I started watching it thinking, because I think somebody, my sister or somebody recommended it, said, have a look at the show, it's great fun and all that. So I started watching it. And then of course I got the call, and then I said yes to the role. But I was expecting, you know, because in the original, my character is dressed very differently to how the whole presentation of the character is different. So I was expecting that I'll be this, like I'll wear these like dresses, or I'll wear these loose skirts, and I'll have messy hair and all that. So I was looking forward to playing a very messy person. And then suddenly I went for my look test, and I got the brief that this is what I'm wearing and all. And I was so excited because it was a completely beautifully visualized character. And because of the way they visualized my character, I got so much of that to play with, in terms of who she is and, her background and this and that. It all comes through so beautifully in just the way she dresses. So it says everything about her whole life almost in the kind of sarees she wears, in the kind of hairstyle she has, in the kind of, elegance she exudes, hopefully. So,
Surely, not hopefully. We
I'm
saw
sure.
it.
I have to say, like, our costumes have been absolutely fantastic. Like Tanya Sharma,
Yes.
our costume stylist, she's really thought, there are very few costume stylists I sometimes come across who really think about the color. Like, she really thought about the color palette for all of us, Like, there was a color palette given for me, there was a color palette given for Sony, for Ayush, for Rajat. He was like wearing clothes that otherwise I don't think I've ever seen Rajat Kapoor wear. Like, it was shocking to see him wear that.
Like a dude.
Yeah, he was like a dude. Like, he's wearing like these, what are those collars? I'm forgetting.
Polo neck.
Polo necks. So basically, he's wearing polo necks. Ayush is like this really casual sort of. He's wearing like his shirts, like these loose shirts with like t-shirt inside, and with like for me, Teresa's character has worn some of the most beautiful saris, and she just
Yes.
she looked like a yesteryear's actress herself.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was
Looked
going
like
to say that. Yeah.
really out of like an old magazine, so I absolutely found it like, I was like, wow. And when I think when they were designing my costumes, and I remember like when I went for the look test, I was told like, she was like, so Tanya was like, I want Amal to look really strong. So I want her to wear like oversized shirts, even if she's wearing like, and straight pants and like, bell bottoms, but absolutely like, she wanted to like, accentuate the strength that Amal had. So and the nose ring just did it for me, because I've never worn a nose ring. And I've always felt like I have the longest nose in the world. But I feel like, every time I'm going to put a nose ring on my nose, everybody's going to stare at my nose. So I was like, no, I'm not going to wear a nose ring. I'm not going to wear it. And she was like, just trust me, do this, just do this, just do the look test with it. And I wore it, and it made such a huge difference. It just immediately brought another character into life. So I was like, oh, let me play around with that, So I absolutely loved what Tanya has done with each one of us, with our looks so distinct from one another.
Yeah, I remember I was very against that specs. I was like, no, this specs looks really hideous and funny. But throughout the show, like, I've worn it so many times, and I just got used to wearing them. And we have a room, we have a meeting room in the show, where everyone meets and sit. Everyone dressed one way. Sony ma'am used to enter, and we all used to feel like, yaar, हमारे कपड़े इतने ऐसे क्यों है? Like, as compared to wherever she used to walk, she used to feel she used to look so beautiful and elegant. It used to be,
I think Sony's looked the cutest. She's looked
the best.
enduring.
The best.
Yes.
Definitely.
There's a saying, clothes maketh the man. And it's so true for actors, because you get so much of,
Yes.
when it's thought out properly for your character. I'm just realizing how much actually we all have got from our clothes, like
Yeah.
it really makes a difference.
True.
Yeah, honestly, in scenes where you don't have dialogues, your clothes and your appearance speak for you. So that is what has happened, because in the trailer there were so many shots.
I mean, how you dress is really about who you are, or
Correct.
your mental state at that moment, or whatever. It all reflects in the way you dress, actually.
My mental state was always beige only.
I think I'm very
Neutral, red.
Beige only, man. What a beige state of mind.
full of color and
It was very weird. Actually, the days I didn't have red, I used to be like, "Arey, mera lal kahan gaya?"
Well, we have a photo where our walls are red in color, and Hana is wearing like a red overcoat and stuff like that, where we've told Hana stick to the wall, and we've clicked a photo.
No one will know.
It's like a camouflage.
Okay. And there are so many interesting dialogues in the trailer itself. One of which I love the most is by Radhika Seth's character. She says, "Hero bachpan ka aur heroine bachpan ki chahiye."
I love that line.
Now, I loved it. And this is actually, it has been a debate in Bollywood for a very long time. We see 50 plus heroes romancing 20, 25 plus heroines, which sometimes looks good, sometimes looks extremely odd. Now,
Good?
do you?
How does that look good? I don't think it looks good.
Some of like Dear Zindagi, Shah Rukh played his own age.
Of course.
So it looked
God.
very good. Yeah, because they didn't actually romance.
that wasn't a romance, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but Alia fell in in love, but it didn't look like horrible. It looked very natural. So, like that. But there are some films where they are out there romancing, these young heroines, which looks a little hideous sometimes. Now, do you think this trend in Bollywood is going to change anytime soon?
Sony,
Uh,
what do you think?
I'm not some expert on Bollywood.
Yeah, actually, like, Sony would be like, I don't know.
I think it's changed already. I mean, I think we're going, the last 2 years have really changed everything for us.
Yeah.
The fact that we've got now, were not able to go to the movies for the longest time. So movies that were made 2 years ago suddenly appear dated. I mean, everything is suddenly, and then now we are used to consuming a certain type of content
yeah.
on OTT platforms, where you don't need to have a hero who looks like a hero. You don't need to have a lead actress who looks like a sex bomb. You don't need any of that. You just need normal people and good actors and good stories. And so it's now I think, which is it's something has happened. Definitely, there's been a tectonic shift for sure. I don't think things are going to go back to the way they used to be ever. I'm very sure about that. Yeah.
Yeah. I hope
think,
it never does.
I mean, the only thing like adding to that is, if you see how many older women are really paired with younger men, if you pair an older woman with a younger man, you'll call her a cougar. And so easily to label a woman and say, oh, what a cougar. She's caught hold of like this young boy. But in a Hindi film, it's so normalized. Like we're so conditioned to see a 60-year-old Uncle Ji pair with like a 20-year-old girl. I mean, I'm sorry, but that's what I was telling like in the previous interview that, if I were to meet these people in a party, if I was to be introduced to somebody like that, I'd very politely call him like uncle. I'd be like, hi, uncle. Yeah. But, if I was a 20-year-old girl, I'm not 20, but, I'm saying like, this is what it would be. But it's odd. Like, when suddenly like older women become aunties, so easily to label them. So why is that normal and why is that okay? And why are we still accepting it? I really feel like sometimes I applaud actors who are big superstars, but they're ready to play a father to two younger girls, and it's nice. It's basically like you're trying to age gracefully. And I think it's nice to see that. And that will happen. It is a conversation that has started. And I think somewhere even like the superstars have started feeling like, okay, maybe, I have to take like a step back. But, this is a conversation even there. So think about their condition, yaar. Poor things, they're like been on top and they're like forced to be like, aapko hero banna hi hai. So I have empathy for them also. Poor things, Imagine this conversation that just happened. So it also makes you think as an actor, maybe like, I need to see it from like another point of view. So
correct.
Drishtikon ki baat hai.
It's also I think scarcity of content, which would lead to having pairs like this. But now having that gap filled with the OTTs, with the web shows, I think there are braver stories being written. There are stories written for the old, for the middle-aged, for the young, for everyone. So everyone gets to pick and choose whatever they want to watch. Which is like a refreshing thing for everyone. So you don't have to only have a medium like a film where you can watch these people. You can just watch it on an OTT. You can act in an OTT. So it's opportunities for everyone, more storytelling for everyone. And I think that is solving a lot of problems. So I think the trend in, I think a couple of more years will start changing even more drastically, I feel.
Drastically, correct. Agreed. And in the show, of course, there is a role reversal. Now you guys are playing not actors but agents to actors. Has this part changed the way you look at your own real agents, or did you have any conversation with them after playing the role that anything?
I think I was like forced, like, I remember like when I was taking on the show, I was having fights because I hadn't watched the show. I didn't know what the show was. And then I was getting a call and they were like, come on, you have to do the show. And I was like, no, I want to do the show. It's none of those things. So, I mean, I'm in general, like if you're very passionate about what you do and you really like are careful about the kind of work that you pick up. And I think I can say that very safely for all of us, because I know that a lot of us, are very careful about what roles we pick up. We are not doing like anything and everything. That's why you won't literally see us like in every show or, I feel like here also there is there is a management team, there is a person who's sitting there and guiding you and telling you, "Hey, this would be right for you." And you have to sometimes, you have to sometimes be empathetic towards them, listen to them, because although we've all been great managers for ourselves, and I can very proudly say that, because we've not had like a PR machinery, or we've not had like a huge agency making decisions for us. All of us have made decisions for ourselves, and that's why we've landed the careers, or places that we have on our own, not without any hand holding or anything. But there comes a time in your life where, after you've achieved a certain amount of success, there will be somebody who will be coming in, because they will be able to guide you through it,
Of course.
your path ahead. So I think you should be able to give that kind of share, or I think like you need to give due credit where it's required to give. So I do give a lot of due credit to all our agents and all our managers who work tremendously hard to make sure, like, our lives are running efficiently.
Sonia?
I think it's definitely changed my perspective. It's opened my eyes to a lot of I mean, I think the job that managers have is extremely difficult, because it's people management, it's ego management, and it's very delicate. It's a very delicate sort of situation most of the time. But what I've realized is that, because I've seen like now how managers are, they are very today's managers are not stroking your ego in the obvious way anymore. They're very, very blunt, and they're very, very direct.
Definitely.
And they're not there to make you always feel better. They're there to help you make the right decisions for yourself, and for the business that you're in, for your whatever. And they cannot possibly do that if they were trying to be nice to you all the time. So I think in any case, things have already changed, and actors have actually probably welcomed that, because that's what they need. They do need honest feedback. A lot of the time earlier in the olden days, you were always surrounded by your chamchas. I don't
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's totally. And you only moved around in this little circle.
Sir,
Baby looking hot,
sir,
baby looking this, Baba
sir,
looking
क्या
great.
काम किया है? Sir, क्या काम किया है? Sir, क्या काम किया है? Sir, वाह, वाह.
So I think that's the main thing that's really changed. It's also enabled managements to be much more, much more communicative with their talent. And that's really what's required. End of the day, we all understand that we're here to do a job. We're doing work. There's nothing great. I mean, I used to always tell my daughter this, that listen, you're not saving lives. You're doing a job like anybody else is doing a job. The only people whom I feel are to be put on a pedestal are those who save lives. We are not doing any of that. We're actors. We are doing our job like a taxi driver is doing his job, or your house help is doing her job, and nothing greater than, you're no greater or lesser than anybody else. Work is work for everyone. So I always felt this way, and I hope I've been able to impart it to my daughters. But at the same time, I also realize how difficult it is to deal with people whose egos are very fragile. And I realized this when I was directing for the first time, strangely, nothing to do with this show, but then it obviously translated into this show, because I have understood now what it is to be like on the other side. And it is not easy, let me tell you. It can be quite soul destroying, when you're a director, for example, and you're running after somebody to do your film.
My God,
it's really tough. And I don't wish that on anybody, but yeah, people have to do it. So,
Okay, Ayush, how has it been for you?
I think it's been a lot of learning in terms of you're very empathetic towards your agents now. Not that we used to kill them initially. Like it's just very an agent's job is also not only getting you work or taking care of you in terms of your workload, but it's also there are times where, as an individual, as Ayush or as Ahana, as Soni ma'am, we would feel low, or we would feel less confident. We would not be up to it. We'd not be hitting the mark all the time. They would become your people who would give you a pep talk if there's something They will take care of it. So it's not only a role of an agent, it's also a role of a friend, it's also a role of a guide, it's also a role of a motivator. So nowadays, being an agent is not only being an agent, but being just a good human being and being there for the person you care about. So it's a lot of these things which culminate into making a good agent. And this is what the show is also about. Like each of us have different traits for our artists, and that's what makes us different. That's what makes those artists stick with us, and that's something which you know. When we did the show, we learned, okay, oh, maybe my agent has this, which is favorable for me. Maybe my agent does not have that is favorable for her. So some kind of a meta learning here and there, but overall, hugely, the respect for agents has tripled as to what obviously it was. Not that we didn't ever respect them, but it's just been like they do a lot of serious work, and sometimes they don't get credit for it. And credit where it's due, we should give them.
Okay, fantastic. Agreed completely. Okay, thank you so much for joining in. All the very best for the show. And to schedule a success interview for it, I'll call your agents.
Hey, that is just so
Plan a
sweet.
success interview.
That is so
Oh,
sweet.
I'll
Thank
call
you so
your
much.